you don't own integrity, people won't believe that all the things you've accomplished.
And I think we don't always acknowledge how human beings, survived and evolved by having an instinct to hunt.
No Lord of the Rings people in here.
Oh, I like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
All right, okay, all right, good, okay. I'm glad we can all be friends now. Fantastic.
You're good.
Name, call sign, and affiliation.
Jared Freeman, call sign J-Rod, and affiliation OP4.
Perfect. Where did your call sign come from?
I've had a couple call signs in my time. I started out as Johnny Rocket. My good buddy Ian gave it to me the first time I came out and played because I did some crazy things, like crawl up the stream and flip all the bottles to win a game of bottles. But now I just go by J-Rod because it's my name, and there was some confusion on the field, and it just works, kind of stuck.
Where are you from originally, and where do you reside now?
York, Maine, and York, Maine. Born and raised.
See, I think that's hilarious. I am also born and raised in York, Maine. I've never left, and I've never met you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think that's so fucking cool. Small world. What makes you stay in New England?
My entire family's here. I have left and come back a couple times. Well, left once and been gone for a few years and then came back. It's just, it has everything that I need here. My whole family's here, my support structure, my job that I'm in now, just everything about it. I love New England.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a high voltage electrician in the digging and line building side. So I run a digging crew. I set telephone poles all day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, it's a job.
Pays the bills?
Pays this time of year. It pays a lot because
bet.
I work a lot, but it's good.
That's awesome. How did you get into airsoft?
My buddies dragged me out. He doesn't play anymore, but I call sign Otmus and Shepard. They took me out originally once, and I kind of just came with them, and then I have continued to make friendships and continue playing with my buddies, and that's kind of the reason that I play.
Perfect. How long have you been playing airsoft for?
Off and on for, I don't know, 5-6 years, something like, no, more than that. 7 years? I don't play regularly, I'll say that.
All right. Well, then you're definitely rememberable when someone plays against you. I'm just going to say that as someone who's played against you, like, I would have thought that you don't play regularly like he does.
Yeah, most people don't know that I am not a die-hard every weekend kind of guy. I usually get once a month if I'm lucky, and usually like 2 or 3 times a year.
No shit.
So.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Have you been on any other airsoft teams besides OPFOR?
No, I don't believe so. The first couple times that I came out, I was just kind of running with my buddies who were in OPFOR at the time, and then OPFOR kind of just adopted me a little bit and decided that I was theirs.
That's awesome. It's important to claim ownership over the good ones. So how long have you been playing for OPFOR?
Off and on for, I don't know, officially 1 year, but unofficially I'd say, I don't know, Ian, how long have I been? Forever. As long as I've been playing airsoft, probably.
All right. How'd you get involved with the team?
Ian Crocodile is kind of the driving force of that now, but I got involved just through my buddies who were on the team, and then I was introduced to the team, and then the team decided that they liked what I did and wanted to keep me around. So
I bet a lot of that has to do with personality too, right?
Yeah, I try to be a pretty go with the flow, kind of just do my thing and help when I can and be there for the guys when they need it.
So do you help to organize games at Harris?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Well, yeah, since you only play like once a month or so, you said I
Yep.
can see that now. Okay.
Nope.
So
I don't do any of that. Occasionally, I will help behind the scenes if they need it or if they ask for it, or when I show up, all my buddies are doing it. So if they need me to sit and check people in, then I'll do that. But I don't keep anything for that. I'm not part of the mod squad. I'm just there as a guy
Okay.
for my buddies. I did do tree work for a while, and I have lent that part of my life to Harris occasionally when they have something sketchy that they don't want just anybody cutting down.
Yeah.
They want it to land in the right spot and do that. I'll do that.
It's good to have those kind of people around when you have a field.
Yeah, I've done a couple sketchy trees for them where it could have gone badly.
Well, yeah, especially where, it's a public field.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. One of those trees come down, you're dead.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool of you to do. How long have you been playing at Harris?
Off and on for 7 or 8 years-ish.
So pretty much from the start.
Yeah, I've only really played at Harris and
Okay.
then a couple out-of-state things and then backyard.
How much of your personal time do you put into playing and thinking about airsoft?
Playing airsoft a couple times a month and thinking about airsoft, not a whole lot.
I'm sorry, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
I'm being honest.
Yeah, fucking A.
A lot of what I do in airsoft is just a mirror of what I have done in the past with the Army and what I did and all that. So I just take what I learned from that, and all my kit and stuff is all stuff that I wore and had with me then. So I just take all the skills that I had from that and translate it into airsoft, and it kind of works.
So coming from the service, how do you like airsoft?
Airsoft is great. I play airsoft to hang out with my friends and have a good time, and it's good. I found that small unit tactics that I learned work really, really well. And I have taken the role of the saw gunner and used the actual doctrine for it and applied it to airsoft. And I think that is it. It's very different. I like to say that I am a saw gunner, not an automatic rifleman, and a lot of saw gunners that play airsoft are automatic riflemen in that they don't suppress. I personally have spent 30,000 rounds in 5 minutes at Autumn Justice and suppressed to the point where my barrel on my RPK was hot, which I've never seen done.
Well, that's
before.
kind of the whole point of, the LMG, right? Is to suppress your enemy so the rest of your team can move.
It is, and that's something that I think OPT4 has adopted very well. When
Yeah.
when I came to them and I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and this is what I'm gonna do. This is what you can do with it. They've latched onto that really hard, and especially when we hit places like the MAC or any compound structure, I can get them to the wall so that they can do their CQB without anyone in the compound knowing that they're coming because they're too busy not getting shot at.
I think that's a great point that you made, that a lot of, especially airsofters, are automatic riflemen rather than saw gunners, because that is the whole point. And I can see why that can be lackluster, maybe for some people if you're not thinking about it properly, where if your job is to suppress so your team can move, then you've done your job, and then there's your, hell yeah, I did it. Like if you're a designated medic and you get your guys up, that's just as exhilarating as getting a bunch of people out. You're doing your job to keep your team in the fight. So that's really cool that you see it that way.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I enjoy the airsoft stuff, is that I can do that and bring that aspect to the team, because you don't see it a lot.
What is your favorite platform and why?
The SAW platform, aka the M249 or the RPK or the Shrike. Anything light machine guns is my bread and butter. It's what I loved about the Army, and it's what I love about this sport as well. It's not always the best tool for the job, but it's my best tool for the job.
So you were a LMG gunner in the Army as well?
I dabbled, yes, and I was a forward observer, so we didn't have them all the time, but when we did have them, I was usually the one running it.
Are you a veteran?
Yes.
So something that I've seen come up, whether personally with people that I know or talking to Omar or in YouTube videos, how do you like airsoft? I mean, like, do you find it good in your life after being in the service?
Yeah, I think it's good. I find that I don't don't incorporate a lot of the bad parts of being in the service as an airsoft together. I treat airsoft more as a game than I do as a way of life, which is a good distinction to have, I think, because if you get too serious into the weeds of, if you make airsoft something that is super, super serious, which it's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. You're there to play with your friends and have fun. And I treat it like that. So with that aspect and with that lens, I think it makes it a very good time.
What is your favorite piece of kit and why?
My Cry JPC, which is my plate carrier. Try to show it here. My Cry JPC I've had for 9 years, and I have the shellback shoulder pads, but I love it just because it's slick and it's very tight together on everything, so it just holds your plates, and then it has a little bit of area, and I've adapted it to different roles before, and I think it's just a really good kit to have as a base level kit, and then you can add stuff on top of it. So I use it more as just a plate carrier and less as a minimalist rig. But I've enjoyed it so far. I keep running it every time I play or do real steel stuff with it. It just is a great kit.
What is your most important piece of kit and why?
My Tactical Tailor 249 mag pouches, because they're the only ones that I've found that work really well every time, and they can take an RPK drum, which is the only one that I've found that can take an RPK drum and a 249 box mag.
Important to have that ammo for that.
Yeah, I usually run 6 drums for the RPK, and then I'll run 4 or 5 bags of BBs for the 249, depending on rules of the game. RPK is being more for Milsim, Stag Ops games where they have the magazine restrictions, which is why I have 6 drums, because most saw gunners don't go in with more than 1 drum.
Yeah.
And then they wind up not being able to do the job. So, which also kind of speaks to the difference of automatic rifleman versus saw.
Love it.
So.
Yeah, good call. Which do you prefer, AEGs or HPAs, and why?
AEGs only. HPA saws are kind of, I don't really want to walk around with a scuba tank on my back. I do that in my off time on my own, and I don't really feel like running around with tactical gear and a scuba tank. And you need a big scuba tank. I go through a lot of BBs. My record was 30,000 rounds in 5 minutes, and I think an HPA tank I need probably 2 or 3. What?
That's awesome, dude. I love it. That's fucking amazing. Okay. That's amazing.
I went to Autumn Justice, I forget which one it was, with 2 50-pound bags of BBs, and I went through almost all of them. So.
In 5 minutes?
No, in the course of the
Okay.
weekend. But in 5 minutes, I dumped all 6 of my drums, which is 5,000 rounds a drum.
That must have been a really good fight, though.
Yeah, we lost, but
Was the fight still good? Fight for the fight, bro.
It was a rough fight.
it was a hard fight.
Okay.
But
Firefight, I grabbed Ruben's RPK.
yeah, it cannot be said that we did not try our best.
All right, that's all that matters. What are some of your favorite airsoft brands?
That one.
I love it.
I
Yeah,
don't.
dude, that's great.
Something that most people don't know. I don't tech at all. My buddy Ian does all my teching for me, and I made a deal with him when I started playing again. I just want to show up and I want to do my thing, and if you like what I do, then help me do that. And he said, okay, we can do that. So now I just show up, and my guns work or they don't, and then I just run around and do my saw thing. But as far as brands and teching things, I leave all that up to the professionals that do it all the time. That's not a part of my brain that I really try to use, or it's just not my thing, so I don't do it. But I do saw. That's pretty much it.
You said doo-doo. What is your favorite aspect of airsoft?
The team play, for sure. Playing with my buddies is my favorite part about it. That's why I play the game. I think at the end of the day, it's just all about having fun and maneuvering as a team. I love maneuvering with the boys and employing the saw correctly really gets me going. It's really nice to be able to actually do it and see results, where knowing that my implementation of my 249 or my RPK is what got us to the point where we were able to take that objective, or just get out of a bad situation. Like if we've taken a couple ambushes by accident, and then only through superior firepower were we able to maneuver through or back off. And it just feels really good at the end of the day when people are like, hey, that was really good. I was like, yeah, thanks.
Do you find that the camaraderie that you found in the military, do you have is a similar feeling with your team from do you get a similar vibe from that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's very different.
I imagine.
The military was completely different, and the relationships that I have now and the friendships that I have now are my modern me relationships. So we're friends. It's completely different. Like, we're not getting shot at for real. We're not doing anything that is life or death. Like, it's a game, and it's fun, and I really enjoy it. And every time I come out, I have a blast, and I want to come out more, and life just gets in the way, but it's very different.
What is your least favorite aspect of airsoft?
Probably the people that get really bent out of shape about just whatever. Like, I'm there to play the game and have fun, and at the end of the day, I enjoy the really good firefights and when you have to make those really quick decisions and maneuver and do that. But the people that, don't call their hits, or they're just walking around being complete tanks, it's like, okay, it's not really fun. I just want to have fun, and at the end of the day, go home happy that I took some licks and I gave some as well.
What is your favorite type of airsoft player to see?
The people that are just there to have a good time, and they're there because they're there with their buddies and they're having fun. I really like seeing the kids with the spring shotguns and the guys that are just there to be like, yeah, we're going to do this. Or it's really fun to me when I'll push an objective, like I'll get separated from the squad, or I'm the last one alive or something, and I'll have a bunch of those guys around with spring shotguns and like the AEG that's just dropping the BBs right out the front of it. It's like, all right, let's go do this. And then I'm the spearhead of 25 sweatshirt kids, and it's just a good time.
What is your least favorite type of player to see?
Just the hotheads, or the guys that get bent out of shape about stuff that it's a game. You lose games all the time. I lose games all the time. Like, in the heat of the moment, it's okay. Like, if you're like, oh man, we should have won that, or oh man, we lost, like, okay. But the people that continue after that initial like adrenaline dump happens, and they just continue to be mad about it, or walk off in a huff, or come back angry and then make bad decisions and cheat or whatever like that.
What is something that you would like to see more of in the local airsoft community?
I think just good firefights and good fun and people fist bumping at the end. I try to, every time I go clear through an engagement, I'll try to fist bump or say, hey, good game, or good job, or that was nice, or good shit, or something like that. Just 'cause it's a game, and people just, you want to have a good feeling. It's like a sports team when everybody, walks by, or fist bumps, high fives, like at the end of the game. Like, it's just good camaraderie and good sportsmanship.
I think that is so important, and we try to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, whether you win or lose in an engagement, just a good fist bump to be like, just to recognize each other. Like,
yeah.
Dude, fucking great job. And everybody leaves feeling better.
Yeah.
Just with that kind of something so simple and small. It goes a long way. What would you like to see less of in your local airsoft community?
The same thing I already kind of said, where it's just the hotheads and the people that...
Shit people.
Yeah, it's shit people that just get way too invested in winning or losing.
Well, the hope, and I know, like you said, very similar. I think everybody will say a very similar thing, and the hope is that anyone that are watching these and consistently watch these sees everybody in the community saying the same thing. It's stop being a shit person. Then hopefully maybe it will sink in for some people when they're coming out to those games. You know, so I know that it can get a little redundant for everybody, but sometimes that's what people need to hear from multiple people in the community. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't act like that. You know, or maybe at the very least make them think before they do. You know, what do you like to see in airsoft in the next 5 years?
Just a shift in mentality and that kind of the overall community growing and everybody getting better and having some better firefights and people picking up the sport and not getting discouraged and people just continuing to grow as a community.
Perfect. And sir, last question. What advice can you give to a new player?
Don't get discouraged. I'm technically a new player. So if I can come out and have fun with my friends, then so can you. So at the end of the day, just you're going to get shot. It's going to be okay. Just take your hit, move on, and learn from it. And if I see you and I overshoot you, I'm sorry. I cannot hear anything when I'm laying down a bunch of BBs.
Well, let's also where you're a saw gunner. When you said that, I think it's important to remind people if an LMG is shooting at you, know that first BB that hits you, there's another 30 behind it before that shooter even knows that you got hit. There's a stream coming towards you.
Per SAW doctrine, it is a 5 to 10 second burst, which in BB terms is probably 200-300 BBs. So
I love that you pulled out the doctrine, man. What are they going to say?
You
can't say shit about that.
You can't. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
And if I do apologize to the new players, or just experienced players too, like if you're standing there and you have 4 buddies behind you and you're the first one that gets hit, get out of the way, because I'm going to suppress and or kill as many people as I can so that you don't hit my teammates while they're maneuvering on you. And I don't necessarily get a lot of kills, but I do schwack some people if they're standing in a line.
Screw getting out of the way. I'm just going to slam onto my belly immediately. Like, I'm dead, dude. Yeah.
Well, tandem off of that, I think that's one thing that's different that he doesn't speak to a lot. Your job is to suppress. Like, he suppresses. And he's not out there for the KD ratio.
Yep.
Like, and he really doesn't, like, there's a lot of engagements where you'll see him, it's like, yeah, he'll schlack like 10 guys, but that might be the only 10 guys he gets all day.
Yeah.
Where his impact comes in is like, those 30,000 rounds that he went through, all he was doing was, like, it's scary to be on the other end of it.
I was just going to say, when you hear that the LMG go off, you move. Or at least, at the very least, you're like, where is that?
Yeah.
We need to figure out where that is and does it get any closer or whatever.
You want to address the threat.
Yeah.
And, like, he becomes the primary threat in the field, and it's like, Bruce will joke for years on end about it, because it's like, we hate saws, they break. But, like, when he's on the field, he's a difference maker.
Oh, yeah. Huge. At Clawhammer, our saw went down. And we knew. Mm-hmm. There's our LMG gunner with his little revolver, and I was like, "Oh, that's so sad."
Yeah,
our LMG's gone. But yeah, immediately when that's gone, and that's it's really cool to hear that you play the role the way it's supposed to be done. And for any LMG gunners out there, you're there to suppress.
Yeah, and I would say if you're on a team and you have a SAW or an LMG, and you want him to actually be able to be a SAW, throw him a bag of BBs or make a pool for your team. If you're, just getting into the sport and you have like one SAW or something like that, and you want to actually have him be really, really good and really effective, you want him to just put as many BBs downrange as possible. And that's expensive for a lot of new guys and younger guys. You can't buy, 30,000 rounds at a time and be ready to go. So just keep that in mind. Well, it is expensive.
Jared, thank you very much, man.
No
I
problem.
really appreciate sitting down to do the interview, and look forward to getting shot at by you in the next season. Really do. I mean, I like to come home and show my wife all my scars.